You want to go downstairs? Do you? You want to go downstairs? Hi everybody, Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records, and this is my entry into Rod the Happy Hippie, his 420 sub contest. And most of you know Rod. If you don't already, I suggest you subscribe. I'll put a link down here in the description. Rod's this great guy from, I think originally from the greater Washington, D.C. area. He lives now in somewhere near Knoxville in Tennessee. And Rod's got a vast knowledge of music. He worked in radio, among other things, over the years, and just has a great channel. So he's, as I said, gotten up to 420 subscribers, and so he wanted as a thank you to his subscribers. He's doing a little contest. So it's Rod at Happyhippy the Vinyl Guy, and he's got 5 parts to this little contest. I'm going to go out of order a little bit because I want to tie a couple of them in together. First of all, I always like to note what we're listening to in the background. In the background, we've got Leon Russell, and this is Stop All That Jazz. And from prime era of 1974, prime time for Mr. Leon Russell right there. Haven't owned this album until recently. Got most of the others. Really enjoying it. Okay, so part 1 was to show a book, a music-related book, a biography or autobiography or something related to music. I've got several books I've accumulated over the years. I have in the background here, and some people may have noticed this one sitting up there, and so I thought I would highlight it. And this is called Ramblin' Blues, The Life and Songs of Charlie Poole by Kenny Rohrer, R-O-R-R-E-R is the author's spelling of his name. And Charlie Poole was maybe the most popular string band artist in the 1920s. He grew up in a mill town and did not want to work those long, monotonous hours in the mill, and so he turned to music. And this is the story of his life. It was a short life, filled with adventure. He was Charlie Poole was a very interesting fellow. Put out a lot of music, and he includes in here lots of great photographs. There's a few, and lots of information about his life and his music, and where the songs came from, how he learned to play, all kinds of things along those lines. And then he's got a discography and the lyrics for all his songs in here. A really great book in its own, old time music out of London. Interesting that so many of our important historical figures in music, folks from other parts of the world are the ones that bring out and highlight those artists. Oftentimes we're often forgotten in our throwaway society here in the United States. But that's a really good book. It's written as an academic book, I guess you'd say, but it's very enjoyable. That doesn't take away from it at all. It's not a scandal book or anything like that, but it tells about things in his life. Okay, number 2, a DVD. Okay, I recently got this from Rachel in a VCLT, which is a great gift. But I thought I would, for my DVDs, something that's instructional. Here are 2 instructional DVDs that I picked up years and years ago. I think I had them on cassette originally. And this is Easy Steps to Acoustic Blues Guitar. DVD 1, Starting from Scratch, and DVD 2, Essentials of Fingerpicking Style. And they're from Happy Trom. He's got a homespun video, which he's run for years and years up in Woodstock, New York, that great hotbed, I guess you'd say, of music there in Woodstock, the area around Woodstock, New York. Lots of an artist enclave, is that the expression we would use for that? I think so. Happy Trom's there, and I learned a lot of little guitar, putting a lot of pieces together using those instructional DVDs, because I'm really bad and I need somebody just to tell me exactly what to do. And Happy does a good job of that. So that's the DVDs I'll take note of. And then shout out for a local record store. I didn't do this at the beginning because I'm going to show you the records I actually got from, and that would be record store. He's actually got 3 locations, one on St. Mary Street in Raleigh, and one in downtown Wake Forest, and I think he's got a one located inside a flea market or consignment store or something in Selma. But I go to the Raleigh store. I've never been to the other 2 locations. Adam runs the Record Crate, and that's Record Crate with a K instead of a C. And it's got a great store there in Raleigh, and I've been going there for a couple of years now, and pick up a lot of good stuff. Everything from dollar bin records to higher end stuff. And so Adam is doing curbside, he's doing virtual tours, virtual shopping. He's doing sell it nows and auctions on YouTube, and he's got stuff on eBay. Doing everything he can to try to keep his business going during this time of shutdown. So I just got a package in. I had let him know there was one record I saw when he was just doing a flip through at his store on YouTube. I said, hey, you haven't sold that yet, I want that. And then on 2 different occasions I bought records on Buy It Now. And what he'll do on Buy It Now, people will start watching his video and he'll be showing stuff that he's offering for sale. And you just type in, I'll take that for whatever price he said he'd sell it for. But if 2 people that are online at the same time want it, then he'll auction it off between those 2. But usually you pretty much get them first shot. Okay, one of the things I always, so I'm going to show you the records I got from. One of the things I always am looking out for are to reincorporate into my collection those first few records I bought when I was buying records when I was 14 or 15, 16 years old. Stuff from 73, 4, 5, right in there. And I found most of them, including, but then when I find one, it makes me think of another. But I don't know where my copy originally is. This is Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2. I had that album when I was about 14 or 15, and now I've got it once again, thanks to Adam at the Record Crate. And of course that made me remember that, I used to have Before the Flood, the band, and Live, the band, and Bob Dylan album. So that's one I hadn't got that I need to get. And then I believe it was Headley over at Just Another Fat Guy with a Beard Talking About Music. Love that site. Who was talking about British country rock. And so Adam offered this one up, and I remembered that, and I got it. I also remembered that I had Ringo's album back then. I didn't have this one, but I had Ringo's album back when I was young. The one that's got Sweet Little 16 maybe on it. You're Only 16. I don't remember the name of it, but I had a Ringo album from back then. But this is Ringo Starr, Buku's Blues, and I picked this one up. A lot of country and country rock artists on here. There's Charlie Daniels right there. And Pete Drake, the steel guitar player, produced this album. Scotty Moore engineered it. I'm assuming that's the Scotty Moore from Elvis's band. But Roy Husky Jr. plays bass on here. A lot of good stuff. Okay. And I got, I'm a big fan of John Hartford, but I don't have much of his stuff from the RCA years, from when before Aeroplane. I've got stuff after that mostly. So I've picked up a few of those, including two I got that Adam sent me. And this is Gentle on My Mind and Other Originals, John Hartford. This is from around 68. Yeah, exactly. This is from 1968. And I believe this was the first one on RCA. Maybe from 68 as well. It might be a little bit earlier. I don't see a year jumping out at me on here. But another John Hart. So I got two John Hartford albums to fill in some gaps in my collection. And here's the one I saw, and I said, oh, yeah. If you hadn't sold that one yet, I'll get it. For all you Beatles fans, there's the Sponge Tones and the album Beat Music. Now tell me something. Doesn't that guy look like Paul McCartney? It really does. The Sponge Tones were a band out of Charlotte that when I was living in Boone, we would go see in Blowing Rock at PB Scott's sometimes. They were very popular because they started out as being just a Beatles cover band, but by the time I saw them, they were doing more than just Beatles. They were doing, I remember they did some Jimi Hendrix, things like this, some Creedence, did other artists, but they didn't play they did some original music, and this is original music, but it's made in the tradition of the Beatles. And so I used to go see these guys play. I always like to pick up bands that I used to see play, and they're still around actually. Of course, these guys are in their 60s and 70s, probably in their 70s now, maybe 60s, and they occasionally play still. I think some of them were running recording studios in the Charlotte area for years and things like that. But anyway, this is a good little pickup. Takes me back to my youth. Sponge Tones. Okay, and finally, so that's the Record Crate in Raleigh, and the location in Wake Forest, and one in Selma, and Adam over there, and I was able to pick those up, and they arrived in the mail a couple of days ago. So I'll shout out to the Record Crate. Really great shop. Adam's a great guy, and enjoy going in there and seeing what I can find. And in the situation we're in now, I enjoy shopping online and getting those 5 records sent to me. Okay, and finally, nominate somebody to win the contest. Thought about this long and hard. There's a guy named Dave. A lot of you may be familiar with. His channel is called Culture Fan. Dave's out in Texas, and real laid back guy. I really enjoy his videos, and he's rekindled my interest in several artists through his videos, and commented on my videos fairly often, and I enjoy watching his videos, learning more about. He's got very eclectic taste. Every type of music you can imagine, Dave's got a little bit of it. He knows a little something about it. So I learn a lot watching his channel. So Rod, put another entry down for Dave at Culture Fan, if you will. I appreciate it. All right. Well, Rod, congratulations on all your love in the vinyl community. Everybody really appreciates you. Thanks a lot of you, and enjoy. I think we all enjoy watching your videos, and we all appreciate your comments on our videos, so on and so forth. So here's my entry, and I'll remind everybody: be kind to your neighbors, because we're all neighbors, people. We're all neighbors. Let's be kind to one another. Take care.